Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
We have new information regarding a northwestern Minnesota woman who incredibly survived being hit by a semi while walking along a highway near Crookston early Sunday morning. Thanks for joining us. 25-year-old Amber Shablow remains in satisfactory condition at Altru Hospital in Grand Forks. According to her GoFundMe page, she has a broken jaw, broken arm, and 2 broken legs. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson has new information in a case that still has unanswered questions.
The patrol says Amber Shablow was walking southbound here along Highway 75 when she turned to flag down an oncoming semi. She was hit by the semi's front fender and mirror and thrown over into the northbound lane. And now the state patrol has revealed that Amber was not alone. Her husband was with her as they walked along Highway 75, 4 miles north of Crookston at 1:25 a.m. Sunday.
She wasn't alone out there on the highway when she was hit by the semi?
That is correct. There was another pedestrian also along the highway when the crash occurred.
That was her husband?
That is my understanding, yes, it was her husband.
Okay. Any idea why they're out there in the middle of the night?
Again, the crash in itself remains under investigation.
Graybo confirms the couple did not have a vehicle in the area. Amber Shablow was transported to Crookston by ambulance and helicopter to Altru in Grand Forks, where she remains in satisfactory condition.
Very lucky. I mean, anytime you have a pedestrian versus a vehicle crash, it does not end well for the pedestrian. So any person that is able to survive a crash as a pedestrian, I would say, is very fortunate.
However, no details yet on exactly what led that couple to be walking this highway in the middle of the night. From Crookston, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
Sergeant Graybo says at this point the accident remains under investigation and charges have not been filed against anyone. The driver of the semi, 61-year-old Robert Fulstrom of Gonvick, was not injured. Graybo says it appears the victim, Amber Shablow, had been drinking. Sarah Jo Braith was sentenced to 30 days of work release after a jury reduced her sentence. Braith was arrested 2 summers ago after killing a woman who was riding her bike near Barnesville. Braith was using her cell phone behind the wheel when she killed the woman and seriously injured another.
It's only going to get worse because we're getting more drivers that's what they're used to. They're used to being distracted all day long with a phone.
Coming up at 6, hear why law enforcement says it can be frustrating at times when they work so hard keeping people from distracted driving, but they walk away with reduced sentences. A bit of soggy out there, and now we're getting reports of sleet. Let's go to meteorologist Robert Hahn to see what we can expect tonight. Robert?
Yeah, some rain out there. We have heard some reports of sleet, even some snow, and even some rumbles of thunder over parts of the area. You name it, it's probably falling from the sky somewhere in the region. The 60-degree temperatures of the past couple of days long gone, replaced by temperatures falling into the 30s. Low to mid 30s across much of the region to add insult to injury. We've got a lot of wind out there. Combination of the strong and gusty winds and the colder temperatures. We've got wind chills as cold as 20 in Langdon, 22 here in Fargo, 21 in Grand Forks. A lot of clouds out there, and you see those brighter clouds north of Bemidji, just southwest of Waskish. A pretty good little thunderstorm continues to slide off towards the east. Some cloud-to-ground lightning will continue for the next little while as that slides off towards the east. Elsewhere, some rain and even a little bit of snow and possibly some sleet. Here in Fargo, I think the rain and sleet and maybe even some snow or flurries, that will come to an end around the 7 o'clock hour. By 8 o'clock, some cloudy skies. Temperature is steady in the low 30s, and we'll be right around the freezing point, so could see a slick spot or two. Tomorrow, one more chilly day before we get right back into the warm weather, and we'll detail that coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Robert. A Fargo man allegedly bit a woman on her face several times after ripping her clothes off and attempting to rape her. According to court documents, Fargo police responded to reports of a sexual assault at 3:30 Saturday morning on the 800 block of 10th Street South. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop joins us now about the man and the felony charges he faces. Ashley, what can you tell us?
When police arrived, they found the victim in her car, not fully clothed, with blood running down her face and on her arms. She said she is friends with 28-year-old Holden Invick, but he hasn't seen him in a few years. He's facing charges for attempted rape, aggravated assault, and fighting with police. The victim told police they were laying in Invic's bed cuddling with the lights off. Court documents say she was nearly asleep when Invic forced himself on top of her. She told him no, and he began to choke her as she screamed for help. While fighting, Invic began biting the victim's face and pulling at her hair. Invic eventually began ripping the victim's clothes off and attempted to rape her. Court documents also say Invic began to pour chemicals down the victim's face and throat. When police arrived at the scene, Invic was upset and would not listen to police. Fargo police tried to place him under arrest, and he began to fight with numerous officers. Invic is still in jail at this time. Christine?
Thanks, Ashley. Invic is due in court in April and faces a minimum mandatory sentence of 5 years in prison. Police say to keep your eyes peeled and your doors locked. There have been at least 7 reported burglaries to police in the Fargo-Moorhead area within the last 24 hours. Moorhead and Fargo police remind people to lock your home and garage doors. Fargo police say the burglaries happen sporadically, and they suggest people keep their property lit at night or have motion lights. A public meeting is underway to discuss a reconstruction project that will impact nearly 30,000 drivers. Just less than 1 mile of 13th Avenue South near West Acres Mall will get new lanes, sidewalks, and upgrades to their sewer system. The nearly $9 million project will start in late April. The public meeting ends at 6:30 tonight. The Bison men's basketball team is back in the Summit League championship game for their 3rd year in a row. Alex Egan joins us live from Sioux Falls, where the Bison can punch their ticket to a 3rd straight NCAA tournament appearance. Alex?
Hey, good evening, Christine. Yeah, it didn't seem like we'd be down here talking about a potential Bison trip to the NCAA tournament. They had to overcome a large halftime deficit against top-seeded Fort Wayne, but hey, you know what? It's the Bison, and it's March. The Bison did it, and they won by 1 point, led by junior guard Carlin Dupree. Maybe an unlikely source for the Bison after his future with the team was in doubt. Dupree left the team in January, but returned a couple weeks later and is now a major reason why the Bison can go to the NCAA tournament for a 3rd straight year. The Bison will have to get through South Dakota State, who also won by 1 point in their semifinal game last night over Denver. It is the 2nd straight year for the Bison and the Jacks to meet in the tournament championship. We'll have more on the matchup coming up for you tonight in Valley News Live Sports at 6. For now, in Sioux Falls, reporting live, I'm Alex Egan, Valley News Live Sports.
Thanks, Alex. Now, if you want to watch the big game, it can be seen at 8 o'clock on ESPN2. The new SAT was taken by thousands of students across the country for the first time. The newly redesigned test is aimed at reflecting more of what students are learning inside the classroom. Among the changes, it has fewer questions than the current test. It eliminates vocabulary words students rarely use, and there's no penalty for guessing on the answers. The essay portion is now optional. Lee Weiss, the vice president of Kaplan Test Prep, explains the changes.
The College Board has lost ground to ACT over the last few years. The SAT is the 2nd most popular admissions test in the U.S. for college students, behind the ACT. So a lot of changes have been made, perhaps to catch up to the ACT.
According to an email survey sent to students, nearly 60% said the questions were easy to follow. The flu is now considered widespread in Minnesota. According to the CDC, flu activity was widespread across the Midwest starting in the last week of February. This comes after a relatively quiet season up until now. The Minnesota Department of Health reports 359 people have been hospitalized by influenza cases since the beginning of the flu season. It's hard to miss the big project in South Fargo. The Sanford Medical Center construction is moving along. Currently, the building is on schedule and on budget. Patient rooms on the 5th level of the 11th-floor building have been specially designed for the patient's needs. Nursing zones in the room have cabinets of supplies that can be stocked from the hall, so it's quieter and more private for patients. Each room will also have a sofa sleeper for family members.
We're really focusing on that it's important in every single patient room in terms of integrating families into that whole experience for the patient. We know it's a stressful time for patients, it's a stressful time for families, and anything that we can do to make it less stressful and more comfortable for them.
Construction is still set to be complete in January of 2017, and Sanford says they will start seeing patients that summer. What would you do when that check engine light comes on? Well, if you're like most of us, you either ignore it or you can take your car or truck to your favorite mechanic. There are some high school students who not only know why that light came on, but know exactly what to do to fix it. And today at M-State in Moorhead, they are demonstrating what they've learned in their high school automotive programs. More than 24 area high school students are competing with each other for prizes while diagnosing problems on cars and trucks. People who run the Auto Tech program at M-State say there are tons of opportunities for those who become automotive technicians.
You can make a great career out of being an automotive technician, and everything we can do to try to work with students while they're still in high school and try to get them interested in automotive is what we're trying to do.
This is the 5th year M-State has hosted this automotive skills competition. Kraft secretly